Well, hello YouTube world. Welcome to Lung Farms. I'm Gabe, and we've got a beautiful day here, July 21st. See it all out there, the sky. We got a good stretch of about 3 days with no rain, possibly 4, and we're going to try to get as much hay cut this afternoon, this evening, as we possibly can. So we'll take you along with us. We're cutting right here close to the farm, so we don't have to travel a lot, which is a good thing because we want to get as much cut as we can tonight so we can spend Wednesday and Thursday getting it all rolled up. Got the baler in another video all put back together, tried it out with the PTO before I unhooked it from the 706. Everything seemed to be okay, so we're going to go under the assumption that it's all ready to go and knock down a lot of hay. We'll bring you along with us. Well, as usual, you can always expect to have some kind of a breakdown or something when you're running old equipment. So we lost a rock guard. I took it off. It's broke. I'll show you what it looks like. But I had to go get a new rock guard from my son-in-law Blake over at Cross & Sons. And I went ahead and picked up a couple more extra sections. So I'm going to get this changed out. It bent this section. The other one's gone. So this one's bent. I don't know what I hit, but I'm going to take a look when I get over there back in the field to see. You can see that section's bent. And these were all new sections I put on before we started cutting. I think we cut one time with it, and then I put these new sections on. So last night I cut till dark, but had some issues. So we fixed the rock guard that broke in the 2 sections, but then after I got cutting, I got the one field done, went over to the other one, and the chain, the roller chain that drives that, kept jumping off. I've got a picture I'll put in to show in this video of it off the first time. It kept coming off, and it is so loose. I mean, the sprockets are worn. This Haybine's, like I said, it's lived a long life, but I can't get any more adjustment out of the chain. So I made a trip over to Crossing Sons to see my son-in-law, and I got a new chain, a new master link and a half link. So I got more chain than what I need, so I can put it on there, I can mark it, and I can cut it so that it's got a more snug fit. And because actuality, the adjustment on it, on this, the bolt feels like it could break if I really cranked on it to adjust it anymore. So I'm gonna just make the chain fit what I've got, the worn sprockets and that. So I'm gonna get this chain, wrap it around there so I can get it marked, take the grinder, cut it where I need to, and then hopefully get us back in business. We'll go over and finish that field. Okay, I got it back together. New chain is on. I ended up, the bolt, I had to do the adjustment on it. So I'll go underneath and show you where the adjustment is on this. Again, this is a New Holland 477. It's much tighter. It's actually a little bit looser than probably what it should be, but I'm gonna leave it where it's at. So the adjustment, you have to crawl under the back of the Haybine. And when you get under here, there is a cap screw, and you can see there, that's the one that broke off, if you can see it. That's the one that was holding it still. This whole lever moves up and down, and that's on an eccentric, which moves that big sprocket forward and backward. So I was up here, and you can see it broke off. I knew it felt like it was going to break. So by it breaking off, you have 1, 2 more holes to adjust. What I had to do, if I just made that chain the length it should be according to the book, I didn't quite make it, this slot didn't quite make it down to this hole, and the chain was tight. So what I had to do was add the half link in that I got, and that allowed it to swing on down farther to where I had to use this hole. And I used a new 9/16 bolt. Well, the head's 9/16, must be 1/2 inch, and put it in. That's a grade 8 bolt, so it shouldn't break. But that's how you adjust the tension on it. So that's what I had to do to make that work. So now if that chain starts to stretch too much, I can take the half link out and then probably slide this up and catch in that hole on there. So that's how you adjust it. There's not much video or anything on the whole lot on the internet that shows that. But anyways, so I got it on there. There's the half link, there's the master link. The book calls for 1/4 inch deflection. I might have a little bit more than that, but I'm gonna call that good. Belt's back on. I'm gonna fire the tractor up, let it run, see how this looks, and then get to finishing cutting. Much better. That chain before would jump, and you'd see it actually jump off of that sprocket, and every time it did, it clunked really loud. Like I said, it might be a little bit loose, but that's much better than it was. Now let's go cut some hay. I always say one of these days we're gonna have cabbed in tractors, air conditioning, heat in the winter. ones that you don't have to work on all the time, and we'll farm in white t-shirts because we won't have to get greasy. May not be in my lifetime, but I hope it's in Josh's or Brantley's lifetime. They can farm in a white t-shirt. I tell the boys that all the time. One day we'll farm in white t-shirts. But I'm thankful though that God gives us the knowledge and the ability to fix what needs to be fixed. And he seems to always work everything out for us. And I can't complain. So I give him all the credit. You may see it in some of the videos. We pray every time before we start, whether we're cutting, tedding, raking, baling, whatever it might be. We ask for his blessing. And as I said in the very first video I ever posted, it could always be worse. And I can only imagine how much worse it could be had we not prayed. So, thankful to the Lord to get this back together, and let's go cut some hay. Show you how thick this is. It has such thick undergrowth, the Haybine had a terrible time with it. This is some thick stuff. It's all the tedder can handle. I missed some in here that's not cut good because it just kept clogging the Haybine. It's just so thick. It'll probably be an ugly field when it's done, and I hate that because I always like to make the fields look nice and neat when I cut. The chain did good. It clunked. Really didn't clunk at all. So the clunking I've been hearing for a while had to have been coming from that chain. So this is definitely going to have to lay till Thursday to be baled. We'll have to ted this again tomorrow. This hay was not very tall, but it is so thick. So very thick. In the years we've been doing this, I've never seen it this thick, but we've never had a spring with this much rain like this. I mean, this much rain, we're in July. This is July 22nd today. And the ground is still wet. There's some spots out here we're gonna have to rake around that we're holding water that I've never seen water in before. This time last year, we were a month into a 50-year drought. This year, complete opposite. Well done. Good night, night, tractor. Good night, night. Good night, night. Okay. All right. This field is done. It's cut. It's tedded. The 706 was low on fuel. I didn't want to take a chance of running it out, so I left it sit over here. Ran and got fuel. Brantley and I did. Came back with Josh's truck. Hit a wet spot and about got his truck stuck. So I left Brantley with Josh over here. I took the 414 back because Josh was done tedding. Got my truck and all the chains we had so I could get my truck in a dry spot, and just didn't even really have to hardly even pull, just barely a nudge. I don't like to pull with chain, but it was just a nudge. So got his truck out of the hayfield, took the 706 back, and now he just brought me back to get my truck. So I'm sure this field is going to look ugly when we're done baling from all the spots. That undergrowth was so thick. I know I mentioned that already, but very thick undergrowth in that field, and the Haybine did not like it. So, all right, headed back to the farm. We'll feed the pigs and the chickens, and that'll be it for the night. See you later.